Yo, what's going on, guys? Anthony here. Welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'm going to be basically building a branded dropshipping business from complete scratch. I'm going to walk you through the exact process that I would go through if I had to start over from complete scratch and build a branded dropshipping business today. We're going to go through everything step by step, including finding the product, what I look for in a product, how I do my initial market research and come up with my first round of ads, how I come up with the offers. And basically, if you watch this video from start to finish, you will get to see and basically watch in real time my exact thought process and thinking behind launching any new branded dropshipping business and project. So if you follow along until the end of this video, it'll basically be like I am building one for you. So if you've seen those videos from Alex Hormozi where he's like building a business for a stranger, that's kind of what I want to do in today's video, just because I think it's a really cool concept. And I think it'll be really useful for you guys to see more so how I think rather than me telling you what to do. And again, this is literally just what I would do. And I think my results kind of speak for themselves. So really quick, I scaled up this brand new store, testing out this product in the pet space, and we scaled it all the way up to $1,000 already. And we're only spending about 50 to $100 on ads. And this morning we're already at $187 in sales. You guys have seen the store. I've been very public about it, not trying to hide anything. And we're probably going to scale up a lot from here. So yeah, if anything that I just said in the first minute of this video interests you and you want to learn exactly how I would start from scratch a completely brand new branded dropshipping business and scale it to $30,000 per month, then make sure you stick around until the end of this video. And without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and jump straight in. Now, really quick before we dive in, if you're curious as to like why you should even listen to me, my name is Anthony Camacho. I scaled my first branded dropshipping business to 7 figures in its first year. And I've generated over 9 figures in advertising revenue for Shopify brands with Facebook ads. And an even bigger flex is we've helped several students achieve life-changing results inside of our course and community guide through ecom, such as Enos, who scaled all the way up to $10,000 in a single day with his store. We helped Sile, hope I pronounced that correctly, basically scale up to $500 in sales off of $67 in ad spend, literally just a couple hours ago as I'm recording this. And we've helped several students scale and hit life-changing results, making their first sales as complete beginners, scaling up to 6,000 euros in a single day. So blah, 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 results speak for themselves. So that's going to do it for that. Let's get into the actual reason for this video. So branded dropshipping business. There's really 4 key things and 4 steps that we need to nail down that are going to be the majority of our focus for this video. So obviously, if we're starting a branded dropshipping business, number 1, we need a product, then we need an offer, then we need to do research into our customer demographic, and then we need to come up with those first initial batch of creatives that we're going to launch to actually drive sales for the product. So when it comes to picking a product, if I was to start from complete scratch, the customer demographic that I want to go after, because we're going to be running this on Facebook ads, is going to be anywhere from 30 to 65 plus women. This is the predominant market that is on Facebook and still uses Facebook to this day. And in my experience is usually the most lucrative, and it's the most easiest to get off the ground. So selling to basically older women. Now, in terms of the product itself, there's multiple niches that you can go into. Some of my favorites right now are going to be pain relief. Easiest question to ask is, what type of pain do I have myself? Super simple, because if you have a particular pain, chances are if it's back pain, knee pain, foot pain, millions upon millions of people share that same pain. So all we need to do is sell them a solution. Other niches that I really like, and we'll put a dent here, children's and pets. So if you guys have seen that Jordan Peterson quote where he says to basically treat yourself like you're caring for a sick friend or a pet. There's this interesting statistic. I think it's like, let me see if I can find it really quick. So anyways, there's a bunch of interesting statistics about people being more willing to spend money on either their children or their pets than themselves. And really quick, so I just did some quick Googling and I found that people under the age of 35 tend to visit the vet office more than their own doctors. And then this was a really interesting one. Men are more likely to make a meal for their pets more than their actual wives. But women are more likely to cook their own food than men. So basically, people are much more willing to, or much more likely to buy solutions to specific problems, or if you can get rid of the pain for a child or a pet, they are much more likely to buy that for their children or their pets than themselves. So pain relief, children's and pets niche, that here. Another good niche to go after would be, you can do like general health and wellness. And then lastly would be like clothing. So these are definitely in order of like easiest to most difficult. So clothing is definitely going to be the most difficult, but there is a lot of opportunity for opening up new markets with new angles. So for example, in the clothing market, if we were going to sell leggings, right? It's a very broad, this is like very broad, difficult to sell because there's so much mass appeal. But if we change this to something hyper specific like postpartum leggings for 40 plus women with lower belly pooch, right? As you can see, this is much more specific to one particular type of customer avatar. So with clothing, it's going to be the most difficult to sell because it's obviously the most saturated. You can buy pretty much any clothing item that you find on AliExpress. You can buy it at like Target or Walmart. And so what's necessary is, if you're going to get into clothing, that you pick one specific type of customer demographic and you frame and angle the product as being designed specifically for that customer demographic. So a good example of that would be this brand called Figs. These guys sell, basically, they're a clothing brand that is only existing for nurses. So pretty much all of their marketing materials for nurses, they sell predominantly scrubs, but I believe they have some other clothing items as well. And it's really just for healthcare professionals. Another one would be Ooh La La leggings. So if we click on these guys, this is a leggings brand, and you'll see that they really hyper specialize in like comfort, and particularly like that older demographic as well. So this is just two good examples of how you're going to need to specialize in terms of your product. So we're going to do the actual research in this video as well. When it comes to the offer, all we want to make sure is that the perceived value must exceed the price, so much so people feel stupid saying no. And then also, when in doubt, copy your competitors one-to-one and make improvements. So when we're doing the research, we're going to look for obviously products that are performing well. And sorry, let me add that here to this document too. So in research, we want to, we'll say it is critical that the product be already selling, and we'll say minimum 300K per month plus. Okay, because minimum 300K per month plus, if we just take 10% of that, so if we take 10% of that business is 30K per month at 30% profit is 10K per month profit. Okay, net profit, and this is profit margin. Okay, so in the research phase, we're going to be looking for products that are already proven to sell. And so when we're coming up with our initial offer, we're going to use our competitor's offer as a baseline, because obviously if a competitor is doing 300K a month and they're doing it through one specific offer, then we know that offer already resonates with our audience. So no reason why we can't use the exact same offer. So for example, if I was going to sell, going back to this leggings idea, Revenge Body. So for example, Revenge Body, this is a brand that's doing, I think, 500,000 sessions every single month, and they do a buy one, get two free offer. And they kind of enhance it further with this free, looks like this is not a free gift, but they have another gift that you can buy here. So if I was going to sell leggings or some type of shapewear, I would probably do a buy one, get two free. And remember, just keep it simple. If it's working for them, it will work for you. Okay. Really important to have a really good offer. You never want to sell, just a product for like $39.99. If you're not using an offer, there's basically no point in running the product. In my opinion, you should never, ever, ever, ever test the product without some type of offer. So we've got the product outlined, we've got the offer outlined, and then next we need to do the research. So the whole point of the research is to understand for our one specific customer avatar exactly what their problems, pain points, insecurities, fears, and desired outcomes are that could be solved / fulfilled by buying our product. Okay. So essentially what we want to do in the research phase is we're going to pick one specific customer avatar. So in other words, we're going to pick one age range and demographic and type of person as well. So think, going back to this example, postpartum moms anywhere from 40 to 50 years old. We want to pick one specific customer avatar because then we're going to use that customer avatar as the basis for our customer research. So we essentially want to find out for that specific type of person, what kind of problems do they have? What kind of pain points do they have? What are their insecurities? What are their fears? What do they want to achieve in life? What has their experience been like with other products, other solutions on the market? And what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to generate new, interesting, and unique angles that leverage our customers' own pains, fears, frustrations, and then in their own words, and allows us to uniquely position the product as something better or different than our competitors. So this is a key point here because I say this a lot in a lot of my videos, which is, in research, it's critical that a product already be selling $300,000 per month. And the reason for that is we just want to prove product viability. We just want to make sure that we have something that people actually want. So for example, I would never try and go get into the newspaper selling business. I would not start a D2C brand that sells newspapers. And the reason for that is because you could have the best offer in the world. You could do all the research in the world. You can have, again, a really amazing offer. But the reality is that nobody wants newspapers in 2025. And that's all we're trying to solve. Now, if we find a product that multiple people want or millions of people want, again, the main thing there is proving that people actually want the product. But we have to remember that obviously we have a competitor that is doing at least $300,000 per month. And they probably have a series of angles that are working for them. So what we want to avoid is copying our competitors' angles plus selling mechanisms directly, right? Because if we copy, and let me make this bold or not bold, because if we copy our competitors' product plus offer plus angles, right, you end up just being a watered down version of your competitor. And there's no compelling reason to choose you over your competitor. So if you think about it just logically, if we're going to copy everything one-to-one about our competitor, you have the same offer and 99% of dropshippers are going to use the same product and creatives as well, literally download the creative mockups or the creatives from a spy tool. If you're using the exact same stuff, why should a competitor pick you? Especially if you think about brands that are doing $300,000 per month, your competitors' ads are already reaching thousands, if not millions of people, right? Your ads, if you sell the same product with the same offer plus creatives, are probably going to go to the exact same people. So if your ads go to the exact same people and you're showing the exact same stuff as your competitor with the exact same offer and same creatives, it is literally if there's a psychological term called neural adaptation. So your customer base has already seen the same thing from your competitor. So if they see your offer copying everything and your ads copying everything, it's not going to elicit a new response. It's not going to elicit a change in behavior. And anyone that's seen your competitor's ads is going to see you and know you're a ripoff. So what we want to do is we want to avoid doing that, and we want to come up with our own angles. And this is really how you can build a business, build a branded dropshipping business, and scale it to $10,000 a month in profit very, very quickly. And that's by leveraging new and untapped angles that position your product differently in the market. And the research is what's going to allow us to do that. So we'll do the research today as well. And then obviously we'll generate the first ad mockups as well. And when it comes to the first ad mockups, always, always, always start with image ads. Reason for that is because image ads, number one, are easier to produce. Easier to produce, right? ChatGPT has completely leveled the playing field. So now, like with ChatGPT and image generation, like the types of images, and guys, I've worked with like $100 million per year brands like Just Ingredients and 8-figure companies like Manly Bands and Ann Caller, these massive companies that have resources that you and I will never have access to. They can go out and drop 40 grand on a video with a creative agency. But with images, like the image process and image ads themselves with ChatGPT, you can get 95 to 99% of the way there. There's obviously going to be like little intricacies. Sometimes the product's not going to show up exactly the right way, but ChatGPT has made distinguishing between dropshipping brands and e-commerce brands through the quality of their image ads alone completely obsolete. Like before, you could pretty easily tell if an image ad was for a dropshipping brand, but now it's completely irrelevant. ChatGPT has made it so much easier. And another thing with images too is that the messaging in an image ad has a much higher impact on the success of an ad because there's less moving parts, right? If you think about a video ad, you're going to have UGC. You're going to have in that UGC video, if it's a 45-second video, you're going to have a hook. You're going to have all of these visual pieces and basically stimulating pieces of information where you have different colors, you have movement, you have the voiceover, you have the avatar, you've got the product working in the background or whatever the case may be. And so with an image ad, it's literally just a static image. There's no movement. All you have is basically whatever's showing in the visual and then the text. So messaging in an image ad has a much higher impact on the success of an ad because it's a static piece. So like if I do like a creative that's a video and a creative that's an image, it's much easier to tell if the success of either ad is being driven by an image, being driven by the messaging. Because with a video, maybe you just have a really interesting hook, or maybe your avatar is on point, or maybe the script, maybe the last piece of the script and the call to action is really strong. So messaging in an image ad is much easier to determine whether or not the messaging is having an impact on the success. And then you validate the winning messaging, those angles, through image. And then you explore that in other formats. Think like UGC, advertorials, listicles, VSLs. Like then you can kind of just go on and on and on. So this is kind of our game plan here. So we're going to be looking for, and we're going to go do all of this right now in this video. So we're going to look for the product together. We're going to come up with the offer together. We're going to do the initial research together. And then we're also going to come up with the first ad mockups. And this is everything. Like when I'm starting from scratch, I'm like, okay, I want to launch a new product test. This is the 4-phase process that I go through before I even start building a Shopify store. Like you don't need to build the Shopify store. Like so many people rush to just get the store built up. Do this first, because honestly, like you don't need a crazy complex store layout. Like the store layout does not matter as much as you think in the initial testing phase. What matters is the product that you're selling, the offer that you have, the quality of your research, and then the quality of your ability to synthesize that research into highly compelling, attention grabbing, and disruptive ad creatives. So let's go ahead and now take this document, and using what we have here, we're just going to go through each of these 4 phases and then step by step. And then you'll see this business is literally going to put itself together as we go through this. So we're going to jump now over to product research. But before we do, guys, as you know, every single video, I am requesting you guys comment one unique word in the comments below. And the purpose of that is threefold. Number one, I have checked my analytics, and I think it's like 95 to 96% of people don't even make it past the first 5 minutes. So if you comment that word, number one, it's going to prove that your attention span is not completely fried, and you actually have the attention span to sit through a video that can teach you a skill set that can change your life. Number two, it's going to prove that you're an absolute G, probably the best benefit of all, and you're in on a joke that 99% of people are never going to understand. And lastly, number three, we're going to pick one lucky person who comments that word to win a free month inside of our private course and paid community Guide to Ecom. So if any of that interests you, what I want you to do right now is comment the word. What's a good word? What's a good word we could do? I'm trying to think. I hate this part. Let's go ahead and let's keep it super simple. I want you to comment the words breakthrough advertising in the comments below. Breakthrough advertising, if you don't know, is one of the best advertising and copywriting books of all time. And why not give an ode to Eugene Schwartz in this video? So if your attention span is not fried, you're an absolute G, and you want to be on the joke, and you want to win a free chance into a free subscription into God Tier Ecom, then comment the words breakthrough advertising in the comments below. That said, let's keep going on with the video. Alrighty, so we're going to keep this very simple, and we're going to go ahead and navigate to our spy tool of choice, which for me is going to be Get Hooked. You can use other spy tools. I think Get Hooked is just the best one. So again, looking at our product criteria, we want to look for products for women, 30 to 65 plus, pain relief, children's and pet niche, health and wellness. And then the most important piece of this is just making sure that it's already validated and doing at least $300,000 per month. So let's go ahead and start with the research. Also, inside of the spy tool, we're going to set our filters to just the high performing stuff, and then very quickly go to our language as well, because we only want to see stuff that's in English. Perfect. All right, so now we've got only the high performing ads, and then we've got our English language filter set here. We can actually filter down by specific niche. So I kind of want to switch it up. I've been doing a lot of let's see if we can do beauty, fashion, health, and wellness. Let's try pets. Hope I don't show up on this tool. That would suck. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do now is kind of look through specific products and just scroll through. And again, we're keeping our criteria here in mind, 30 to 65 plus. We want to find a problem-solving product. Forgot to add that here as well. Problem-solving product that is already selling at least $300,000 per month. So typically, I've seen this product a lot, this backseat thing, but this is definitely not lightweight and easy to ship. Also, it doesn't really solve a compelling enough problem for me personally. I'm sure there's people crushing it with that product, but the pain that it solves is not necessarily intense enough, or I don't think there's enough urgency to satisfy the pain that particular product solves. So this looks interesting. Smart dog tracker. Right? My mind is already racing with different angles that we could use for this.
Doesn't work.
So let's go ahead and just click on this.
That's
let's view the ad details.
Bluetooth-based devices need a receiver, meaning...
Damn, shut up. All right, let's go to the ad details. All right, so this looks like attractive. They've only been running this for 4 days. Let's view the brand itself. Okay, so attractive. Okay, they have not been on for a while. So this is looking a little sus, but I really like the product. Solves a problem. Dog tracker immediately, like how many lost pet signs have you seen just going outside your house? So we're going to click on this and we're going to start the validation process really quick. So we're going to open up a tool called SimilarWeb, and I'm just going to drop this in to their traffic tracker. And then I'm going to confirm that I'm a human. I always struggle with these. That's a really bad joke. So let's just pretend, just avoid the cringe and just keep going on with the video. Chairs. Dude, am I failing at this? Okay. Like, what the fuck? Why did I have to do it twice? Okay. Whoa. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. $1.325 million. $1 million. I wish. Million visitors. So we've already found a product, and what we're going to do is we're just going to duplicate this out, and we're just going to basically erase everything that we did, and we're just going to start with the product. So first initial product is going to be this dog tracking tool or / device. All right, obviously this hits the criteria of not just women, but it could fit majority of women, so 30 to 65 plus. Solves a problem, and already right off the bat, without even doing the math, I already know that this is completely validated. First thing that we want to do is verify that we can actually even source a product like this. So this is a dog tracker, and let's see if we can find something like this on AliExpress. My mind is already racing with just how many different angles you could use with this. So, okay, let's go ahead and check what they're selling. Attractive for dogs. Okay, $48. That's really interesting. $48 for this product, and let's see if there's any free shipping associated with this as well. We're just checking their offer, but it looks like they sell for about $50. That's gonna be a little bit tough. Just looking initially at some of the price points that I'm seeing here. Okay, so this is $27, but it looks like a very, like, this is like you know, when you're selling like higher price point stuff on AliExpress, you typically get the benefit of having like a much higher product quality as well. So another good thing is that with the tech items, you always want to check the reviews, especially on AliExpress. Looks like there's some different quality reviews. A lot of people seem to be, especially from the US, seem to be describing it as pretty good. So this looks really interesting. Yeah, this is awesome. Let's see if we can find like a slightly cheaper listing, but immediately right off the bat, let's go ahead and validate the product. Let's close that out. So the dog tracker, 1.325 million visits. So what we're going to do, as you guys know, is we're going to validate this. So 1.3, and we're going to take their website sessions and multiply that. Let's go ahead and go by like 2% to be conservative. So we're taking monthly visitors times conversion rate, and that gives you how many people converted that month. And then we're going to multiply that by the AOV of about $50. And as you can see, these guys are doing a minimum of $1.3 million per month. So this product is validated. Estimated revenue is $1.3 million per month. Okay. So dog tracking tool device hits our demographics, solves a really, really intense problem, which is losing your pet or your cat, your dog. It is validated. So next thing that we're going to do is just make sure that we can actually source either this product or a similar product. So looks like this one is more of like, if we look at the actual, it's like a collar and then the device is there. So it looks like it's a little bit different. Like this one looks a little bit similar to this as well. So just make sure that this is like a holder for the AirTag, I think. So that's not an actual tracking device, which is not good. We need the actual device. This one, I like this one. This one actually looks like it has an app. You just have to be careful because this one doesn't look like it has any reviews. So to be like honest, I would probably go after something like this initial first one that, even though it's a little bit more expensive, I'm confident with the right marketing, we can easily get people to spend $70, $80, $90 for a product like this. And come on, look at the packaging on that thing. And honestly, this goes without saying, but any tool like this, like a security device or like, you know, a GPS tracker, don't cheap out. I would rather sell a higher quality tool with confidence that it's actually going to work than try to skimp out and sell a cheaper piece of shit product that's not going to work. So we have our listing here. It's $27. We could probably source this for around 30, 35 bucks. So let's go ahead and put a link to product here. All right. And we're going to apply that there as well. And we're going to say, you know, $27 cost of delivery. And we're thinking right now, probably price this around like $89.99 to $109.99 on the high end, just for that margin. And then let's see if we can find dog tracking collar and see what people are paying for this normally. Okay, so you got a wide range of price points here. You've got, you know, as low as like $28 or $17, and then you've got as high as $549. So what that tells me is there's just multiple different price points and multiple different financial states for buyers in this market. So that's really good, because when there's a lot of, I think price elasticity is the term, but when there is a lot of price variance, that means there are specific products for people at different levels. Like think of like a robot vacuum. You could either buy like the very cheap ones at like Best Buy from an unknown Chinese company all the way up to like the $1,600 robo vacuums or whatever. So yeah, I'm really liking this product. $27 cost of goods. If we sell it for, let's say $89.99, that'll leave us about, 60 to 70% gross profit margins. So we're pretty much good to go. Product is good. We have the link to the product, $27 cost of goods, and then our sell price right here. We can figure out, like, we can just throw this into ChatGPT real quick. What's my gross profit margin on a $27 cost of delivery and $89.99 sell price? Basically trying to see how much profit we make if we make a sale. Awesome. Okay, cool. So gross profit. And so we're getting the gross profit, like here's how much dollars we make. And then as a percentage of sales, here's how much we're making as well. So perfect. Typically you want to aim for, excuse me, typically I'm aiming for at least, oh my goodness, paste that in like that. Sorry, typically I'm aiming for at least 70% gross margins, because you have to remember, if we make a sale, we're not going to profit $62.99. We still have to factor in the cost of advertising. You still have to factor in transaction fees, credit card fees, all kinds of different fees that are going to slowly chip away at this number. The biggest one, obviously, being the cost of advertising. So you just want to make sure 60 to 70% gross margin as a general benchmark to shoot for. Okay, so that pretty much covers everything on the product side. I mean, that was really, really fast. Yeah, you can already kind of see these guys are running a shit ton of ads, and I'm pretty curious to see, like, you know, what the opportunities are here in terms of angles. But with a product like this, where it solves a really, it's like losing a pet is almost like death, you know? So the pain point here is extremely, extremely, there's a lot of people who want to avoid losing their pet, basically. So now let's get into the actual offer section. Now, as you guys remember, in the offer section, we want to keep it very, very simple. We want to, as much as possible, just replicate our competitors' offer. So right now, it doesn't look like they really have an offer. They've got free shipping and then the 30-day refund guarantee. We can easily improve this by offering both and then extending this out to 60 days just to make it a little bit better. Let's see. Okay, so they have a bunch of upsells, which is the tracker pouch, large fabric clips, and the cover. So it looks like these guys are making it work without any type of like free gifts or anything like that. So typically for a higher price point product, easiest way to find out like what you should be bundling with. So really quick, let's take note. Competitors offer right now. Okay, what's our discount on this? Yeah, there's a 30% off. So it's 30% off plus free shipping plus 30-day money back guarantee. So, yeah, all we really have to do is basically replicate this and then find a way to make it better. You don't want to get, again, if you find a competitor that's crushing it, you don't want to overcomplicate it and start doing a bunch of shit. Just copy their offer one-to-one and then see where you can make improvements. So immediately, right off the bat, we can easily like upgrade the offer and the discount. We could go 40% off plus free shipping plus a 60-day money-back guarantee, which is good because we're going to have a higher price point. So we're offering already, as you can see, we've basically taken the same structure and improved it, but we want to add something even more special off the top. So what we're going to do is just type in our product on Amazon, and we're going to look for GPS trackers. So let's go click here. And all we want to do is see like what other products are people buying in addition to this. So if you go down to, there's usually like a frequently bought together. Let's see if we can find it here. Okay. Oh, interesting. I actually can't find a frequently bought together with that. Very interesting, because like it's usually very common on these on these Amazon listings. Okay, I see it already. I swear I saw it. I don't know what happened to it. Okay, interesting. I'm not seeing any frequently bought together. So let's see if we can find another listing that has it. Let's try this. If there's any frequently bought together. It's a cheaper item. So, okay, looks like they're buying just multiple tracking devices. So let's see. Let's click here. Oh, this is for the AirTag. Yeah, never mind. Let's see another tracker. Let's try this one. Okay. So for some reason, I'm not able to find out like what people are frequently buying with this. So the way we're going to enhance this offer is very simply, we're going to add free gift. Okay. So now we've taken our competitor's offer, which is basically standard discount, and we've increased the discount, so which increases the perceived value. We have kept free shipping. We've added a 60-day money-back guarantee. Again, increases the perceived value. And then we've also added a free gift with purchase. So this right here is how we're basically taking our existing offer and upgrading it. And this is really what's going to differentiate us from our competitors, because the discounts, everyone kind of does discounted percentages and everyone does a money back guarantee. But when your customer goes to consider your competitor versus you and they see the free gift with purchase, that's going to be the thing that pushes them over the edge. So in terms of the actual free gift, we don't really need to complicate it. We can just type in like pets into AliExpress. Again, the best thing to do would be to identify like a frequently bought together item on Amazon, but because it's not showing, we can just come up with a very low cost consumable item. So what I typically do is just type in my niche and then set the price point to very, very low. And that way we can get, like, here's a good example, super easy free gift. If I was selling to cats, I would definitely do this hairbrush because cats shed everywhere. But even this is really, really beneficial. So it doesn't even need to be crazy. Again, a free gift is a free gift. So there's our free gift with purchase, and we're just going to link that here. Okay. So now we have our offer, which is now we have our product, we have our price point, we have the link to the product, we know it's validated, it's good to go. Then we have our actual offer here, which is going to be our offer. So we're going to sell this exact same product, 40% off plus free shipping, plus 60-day money back guarantee, plus free gift with purchase. And we can even do a free digital download as well. And that could be an ebook of, you know, I don't know, 7 ways. This is a really bad fucking example. 7 ways to never lose your dog. You know, something that's relevant to the niche that when they see would actually incentivize them to purchase. You don't want to do like free ebook, how to be happier or something like that. It needs to be tied to your actual niche and industry and something that your audience would find value in. So now we have essentially 40% off, free shipping, 60-day guarantee, and 2 free gifts. So that's going to be our offer that we rock with for this product. Now it comes down to doing my favorite part, which is the research. And this is where we're really going to start to bring everything to life. So we're going to close out all of our other tabs and we're going to open up the pain diving prompt. And we're just going to follow this prompt along. And I just realized I closed out my similar web, which was not what I wanted to do. Come on. God damn. How many tabs did I open? Did I close out that quickly? There we go. All right. So what we're going to do now is I keep closing out the fucking tab. All right. What we're going to do now is we're going to open up a fresh ChatGPT window and we're going to start doing the market research. So pain diving prompt linked in the description. We're just going to follow this prompt literally step by step. And again, any of the yellow you're going to replace with your details as well. So paste this in. I am doing research on, let's say, dog track. We'll say dog and cat tracking collars. This is my #1 competitor, and this is tractive.com. Okay, Tractive. And then we're also going to say here is their customer demographic, or here's their primary customer demographic profile. And then we're also going to basically go into SimilarWeb and go into the demographics, and we're going to take a screenshot of this. So again, looks like it's like 50-50 because pet owners is obviously like, that's not specific to one gender. And then when we look at the age distribution, kind of makes sense. This is, you know, more of a tech product. 18 to 24 probably don't have the disposable income for a tracking collar. 25 to 34 millennials, middle-aged people with kids already definitely have the disposable income to buy this product. So let's go ahead and paste this in and see what we get. And in this initial stage, we're literally just trying to find 10 URLs to public discussion forums of people talking about the pains and problems associated with this product. Like, we're trying to figure out like what core problem are people trying to solve when they buy this product. So let's see this. All right, so right off the bat, and I noticed this with like more established brands, we're seeing a lot of like this product versus that product. So we need to refine the research to say, focus more so on the problems and pains that people suffer from or negative experiences they have that could be solved by this product. We're not interested in product evaluations at this time. All right. So we're basically saying, hey, go one step deeper because we're going to sell this predominantly to a problem aware audience. So we need to understand, what the fucking problems are. Okay. Awesome. So, okay, network issues affecting live tracking. Okay, again, it's going like too into the actual like features. So we're gonna say we're trying okay, hopefully that's a little bit more clear. All right, so we're basically trying to clarify. And when we're doing research, again, we don't really care about like, this is a pretty good review. But again, we want to figure out like what are the core problems and what do people fear most before they buy this. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Nice. There we go. So now we're kind of getting there, right? Fear of losing a pet, desire for peace of mind. Okay, so now we'll say find 10 URLs now, this time of our customer demographic, talking about these real world pains and problems in detail could be solved by our product. And then let's grab the prompt again. The goal is to understand. Okay, this should do it, hopefully. Let's see. Boom. Now we are getting it. Now we are getting to the root cause of this. So fear of losing a pet due to escaping or wandering. Let's click on this. r/cat advice. My 6-month-old tuxedo cat has escaped my house 4 times. That's crazy. 4 times. Okay, so it looks like there's a lot of different reasons as to why people could want this. Inadequacy of Bluetooth trackers. So obviously the number one is going to be fear of losing a pet due to escape. And what we're going to do now is we want to hone in on that specific pain point. Because again, we're still getting slightly surface level. So we'll say, find me 10 more URLs, this time only focusing on the fear of losing a pet or the negative consequences and experiences that come with losing a pet. Give me the first, we'll say then give me all 20 URLs as plain URLs, not embedded text links. And then we'll say do this all in one response. Perfect. So we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that specific pain point of losing a pet. And then we're going to get all these URLs. And then we're going to use this to build our first initial batch of creatives and angles. Awesome. My dog ran away last night. I don't know what to do. My cat has been missing for 3 days. My dog got out last night and I feel terrible. Lost dog. Any advice to help me find her? I love these kind of products because when you have a product that solves a really, like, even reading this makes me feel like shit because I have a cat who's my dog, by the way. Shout out to Momo. And it's a really depressing and like just awful thing to even think about. Okay, I'm going to pause here and wait for this to be done. All right, so now we have 10 URLs that literally just talk about the fear of losing a pet and the negative experiences. And then we have 10 URLs of problems that can be solved by GPS trackers. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy even reading this. Pet owners scramble after microchip company abruptly closes without notifying users. Dude, you could write an advertorial like, attention dog owners, my microchip company like ended the tracking and I lost my dog. You know what I mean? Like you could go so many different ways with that. So now that we have these URLs, what we're going to do now is we're going to go into Claude.ai and we're going to, again, basically give Claude a set of URLs and say, I'm doing research on a brand. Well, actually, we'll say, let's just grab our actual URLs here. And we can just grab this prompt and say, actually, wait, we can grab, I forgot, I typed this in already. We can just grab and copy paste that prompt and we'll say, here are the 20 URLs I found. Simply analyze them and give me your thoughts. Okay. So we'll grab our URLs down here at the bottom. Yeah, all 20 URLs. Okay. And paste that in. And we're basically going to, we're done with ChatGPT at this point, so we can pin this. And we're going to focus all of our creative work exclusively on Claude. So we're going to let this cook for a couple minutes and just allow it to analyze all the URLs. All right, I'm going to pause the video here and let this cook. Alrighty, so as you can see, we're pretty much wrapped up with the analysis portion here. Look at some of the language that they're using here. I don't know what to do. Traumatic, overwhelmed, devastated. I mean, these are all the keywords that we're going to use to fill our creatives and our copy as well. Then we have 1 in 3 household pets goes missing at some point. Imagine that as a hook. 1 in 3 household pets goes missing. Don't be next. You know, something like that. So with all of this analysis, we can start to get into actually prompting Claude to start to really write some really good copy. So what we're going to do is we're going to enter in prompt number 2 and we just go like this and we say, great work. All we're doing basically here is teaching Claude a copywriting framework to understand problems and solutions. That's really all that second prompt is. So here we go. All right. So essentially what we're doing is we're breaking down 2 things. One is the unique mechanism behind the problem, which basically explains here's the underlying hidden or unknown cause that you don't know about. That is the reason why 99% of solutions on the market don't work. And then here's how, in the unique mechanism behind the solution, here's how our product solves that in a new and interesting way. So as you can see, it's basically boiled this all down into some really, really effective stuff, like why 73% of GPS track pets are never recovered, and it's not what you think. So again, if you think like, for example, a microchip is enough to find your cat when it's lost, you're dead wrong. So once it's done this analysis with the unique mechanism behind the problem and the solution, and we know those core psychological mechanisms, now we can actually start to get into generating the angles. And once we generate some of these angles, this is really the starting board for our initial rounds of testing. Because we already know the core mass desire for this is obviously to, prevent your dog or cat from being lost. So now we can start to build out different angles that are going to position this product in a really unique and interesting way. In fact, we can go back to Get Hooked and we can go back and find Tractive. All right. And with Tractive, we can kind of analyze and see like what are the angles that they're already using, because any gaps that they have in their marketing strategy, we can exploit to sell this product in a new way. So let's see. Let's try and filter this to image ads and see like what kinds of stuff they're doing with images. They're probably doing a shit ton of video. Okay. Okay. So as you can see, very, 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 very surface level creatives here. I mean, when you're a brand of this size, you really don't need, you're not really getting anything off the ground. But as you can see, like very basic messaging, like always know where your cat is, like super surface level. Isn't that crazy? I was literally talking about how that 1 in 3 pets thing would have been an incredible ad. I swear I have not seen this brand before, and they're literally leveraging that in their creatives, and that ad was on for 130 days. So clearly they're leveraging that angle. So that's probably one thing maybe we wouldn't want to use. But honestly, like just looking at their creatives, at least from an image perspective, it's very, very surface level. I mean, we have some kind of fear-based messaging here, but nothing really like over the top, right? And there's so many gaps here, as you'll see. So in terms of angles, we know they're already leveraging that fear of pets going missing, leveraging statistics, but outside of that, it's really an open playing field, which is fantastic. So it looks like they have another angle. Oh, this is for a totally different product, so never mind that. Getting peace of mind, again, more of a surface level angle, nothing really crazy there. So let's get into some of the angles that we have now. And we'll start to see why this angle research and this particular research prompt is so powerful. So angle number one, the 15-second window that saves 93% of lost pets. So based on research showing that in lost pet mode, it geolocates every 15 seconds. Let's see. Oh, wow. So most pet owners think GPS tracking is about finding lost pets, but they're missing the crucial truth. There's a 15-second decision window when pets transition from exploring to escaping. During this window, pets are still in family mode and still respond to their owner's voice. After 15 seconds, they enter survival mode. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, I really like this angle. Why found dog posters never work and the real reasons 73% stay lost forever. That's really tough. I love this microchip angle because clearly there's no one else leveraging that, and you're leveraging a very common solution to what people think will actually solve this problem of preventing their pet from being lost. Like majority of people, like myself included, think microchip just means, oh, if I lose my cat, I can track it, but that's actually not the case. So this is definitely the angle that I would rely on and build the foundation for my testing, because we're yeah, like that. Look at that first person hook. If you turn this into an advertorial or you turn it into an AI UGC where you say, the vet assured me Oliver's microchip would bring him home. 3 months later, I'm staring at a $2,400 vet bill for a dog that was found 6 miles away and somehow the chip didn't work. Yeah, this is awesome. So are there any other angles? This is another good angle. Indoor cat secret killer, why house cats die faster than strays. That would resonate with me. I have an indoor cat. So, but honestly, you really can't beat this, in my opinion. And what's even better is that this is a fucking blue ocean. No one is fucking talking about this in their ads, with especially like our number one competitor. So this is a huge competitive advantage that we have in this market. So we're going to go back to our document. We're going to go back to our research. And well, actually in the research, we're going to, let's grab the actual research itself. And we can just take all this information. Okay, take all this information and we're going to insert this into our research. And let's bring the bullet point out like that. Add some spacing here. We can even insert a page break here just to keep it really nice and clean. Where's the page break? Nice. Page break. Oh, what? All right, there. And bring this up a bit. Okay, so for the research, we're just going to copy paste all of our research. I don't know why it's bold and underlined. We just want to copy that in. Okay. I'm not going to go through this right now, but make sure when you do the research, don't just do all this research and then not read it. That's the worst thing that you could do. You need to understand and know this yourself, because it's up to you to fact check the AI if you start getting outputs that don't make sense with the research that you've done. And that will happen. So actually read through this. So we've got the key language patterns from the initial analysis, and then we're going to grab this as well. And again, we're not going to read all through this right now because it'd be a fucking 2-hour long video. But let's go ahead and paste this in here as well. All right, so all this information is purely from the research. In fact, we're going to duplicate this out and we're just going to call this research, and we'll call this one product offer. Okay. And then we'll get rid of the research tab here, or the research section here. Okay. And then we'll get, oh shit, what just happened? Let's grab this. I'm trying to get too fancy. There we go. Okay. So let's clear this out. All right. So now we have our product and offer, and then we have the research that we've done. So next we're going to do is add a tab here, and we're going to come up with our initial angles, or like we'll say angles / creatives. Okay. So we're going to start with this angle, which is the angle number 3. We want to build our initial marketing strategy around this. Okay. So we're just going to copy this in. Okay. This is the core angle that we're going to go after. Okay. And we want to get even more specific with this. So we're not just going to focus on pets. We're going to focus on dogs specifically. So just so we can get a little bit more laser focused on the demographic. So this is purely for dogs. And let's see if there's any other mention of cats in here. Okay, perfect. So we have our initial starting angle. Now, what we can do now with the pain diving prompt is basically we can either write some ad copy. So let's put together a quick advertorial here. And then we can also come up with some image ads and then lastly, a UGC script. So let's go ahead and draft a very, very quick advertorial. And we'll say angle number 3. Pet owners, their families. Okay. And if I was to launch this product, I'd probably go right off the, I'd go right from the rip launching this on an advertorial because like the storytelling that you can do with a product like this is just fucking phenomenal. So the microchip lie that almost cost me my best friend. If you're a dog or cat owner who thinks that little microchip keeps your pet safe, I'm sorry, but you need to read this. 3 months ago, I was just like you. Responsible pet parent did everything right. Oliver had his shots, his premium food. This is crazy. When my neighbor Sarah is freaking out about her golden retriever, I think, thank God I'm not dealing with that drama. Oliver's chipped. Boy, was I wrong. Man, this is fucked up, dude. Oh my God, this is fucked up. Okay, cool. So as you can see, we have our advertorial here and basically you can paste this in. Now this is obviously a first draft. So we're not going to like run this right off the bat, but hopefully you can start to see how we're really like piecing this thing together without very much like work. Now that we've done the research, pretty much everything starts to really write itself. So we'll say, let's put in a quick thing here. We'll say this could be the advertorial number 1. And I would definitely start testing this product right off the bat with an advertorial. And then let's go ahead and come up with some image ad concepts. And let's go ahead and go back to our pain diving prompt. And we're going to grab this prompt here and we'll say enter in like that. Awesome. Microchip versus reality. This hook is so good. 73% of microchip pets are never recovered. That's so good. Awesome. So we've got image ad number 1, image ad number 2. Look at this. Yeah, close-up hands of holding a massive vet bill. Bold yellow text, microchip didn't work. I love that. And then the ad copy here is phenomenal as well. Oh, missing pet poster would go crazy for this product. I like that one. Before and after timeline. 3 reasons your pet's microchip fail when you need it most. Damn, man, these are awesome. Okay, these are honestly all awesome. So we're gonna build this now into our image ad concepts here and paste this in. Now, these we're not gonna brief right now, but what you need to know is you can take all these image ad concepts and bring them very, very easily into a tool like ChatGPT and start to generate them very, very quickly. So we've got our advertorial, which we're gonna send the traffic to. Let's make this a little bit bigger. God damn, this is a long video. Advertorial number 1. We've got our image ad concepts. And then lastly, let's come up with a UGC ad script because we're going to use a tool like ArcAds to come up with a script. So let's go ahead and draft a script right here. All right. And we'll wrap up this video here. So UGC ad script. Damn, my dog's microchip cost me $2,400 and nearly cost me my best friend. If you think that little chip keeps your pet safe, you need to hear. This is insane, bro. Okay, we'll say just give me the script because it's really good, but it's got sometimes Claude just loves to get really creative and give you all these scenes. No. Just give me the script, the timestamps. Sweet. Okay, awesome. And if you put this into a tool like ArcAds, for example, let me log in. All right, I'm trying to load into ArcAds to show you. There's actually AI UGC tools with literal like dogs in them. So let me see if I can do like image here. Oh, I just want to show you the actors, and we're not going to generate the script right now. But if you go into the actors, this is why I love ArcAds, by the way. I'm pretty sure you can select dog here. Let's see. Where's the dog? Dog. Or is it pets? No. Accessories. Pet. There we go. Boom. Okay. As you can see, there's multiple AI actors with dogs here. Some of them look really fucking fake, but this first one, Victoria, looks awesome. That'd probably be the one I use for something like this. And we can feed her this script right here. This is so hard on the eyes. I wonder why they did it like this. And we'll just say get rid of anything, not the script. Just give me the fucking script, Claude. Jesus. Come on. There we go. Finally, man. Just give me the goddamn script. All right. Okay. So now we can take this and we can easily put it into a tool like ArcAds and generate a script literally from our customer's POV. And we'll just put this in as UGC add script number 1 and paste that in just like that. Add script number 1. And we'll make this a little bit bigger as well. Now, honestly, to start, I would only be testing image ads and wait till you can basically identify the winning messaging or winning creative or winning angle in your image ad first before you move on to producing video, because video, more expensive. Like even a tool like ArcAds is incredibly cost efficient, but it still costs money, whereas images you can get up and running for free. So I would definitely start off with images first. But that is basically it, guys. That is exactly how I would, from start to finish, launch this product. The next step would obviously be to bring this into, start building the store on Shopify, and then creating the actual creatives and then launching the campaign. But overall, we have done pretty much 95% of the most important work in starting a branded dropshipping business and scaling it to 30K a month, because most beginners are going to just jump straight to Shopify. They're going to download ripped ads. And I guarantee you, if you put this level of attention and quality and detail into your product tests, into every single product that you test, you are going to significantly increase your chances of success in testing, because you're doing the work, you're picking products that are validated, you're coming up with the offer up front, you're doing the essential research to understand for one specific avatar, what is one core pain, core problem that you can help them overcome. And then you're leveraging that with proven copywriting frameworks to come up with really highly compelling angles that your competitors are not currently using, which helps you position the product differently. And then coming up with multiple different selling mechanisms, all leveraging these research and this angle. So we've come up with an advertorial that we can put into Pagefly or Funnelish. We've come up with 5 initial image ad concepts that we can hit the ground running and testing straight away. And if we can validate any of these messaging to be working, then we can expand even further and start to scale up really quickly with video and producing UGC. So we pretty much have everything that we need to start launching the store and building and scaling successfully. So guys, that is going to do it for this video. Man, I got to say, this was a fucking long one. I was not expecting this to take 1 hour. But if you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed seeing more of my thought process and methodology and how I would actually go about doing it myself, and you enjoyed this longer format video and you got a ton of value out of this, man, make sure to leave a comment and make sure to leave a like, and hopefully you subscribe to the channel as well, because obviously it takes a lot of energy and time and effort to actually record a fucking 1 hour long video. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing the like button, hitting subscribe, and leaving a comment below, I would greatly appreciate that. It just lets me know that you enjoy this content and it's worth making it. And hopefully you take away even one thing from the content that can help you start and scale a business. And if you guys want access to this document, should I even leave? Fuck it. I don't know if anyone wants to actually use this, but fuck it. I'm going to leave this document that we built together in the description of this video. So if you guys want to, I don't know, maybe run this product yourself, or hopefully this can give you some ideas as to how you can kind of approach your next product test. And I'll leave this in the description below so you guys can get access to that. Now, I know this video was a long one, but if you were able to identify that special phrase Make sure you comment the special phrase for today's video in the comments below. That's going to confirm your intention span is not fried. You're an absolute G. And lastly, number 3, it's going to enter you into a chance to win a free month subscription into God Tier Ecom. Now, if you're curious as to why you should even care about a free month of God Tier Ecom, let me show you really quickly full transparency of what you actually get access to when you join. So when you join God Tier Ecom, you're going to get access to 3 things. Number 1, the community. And the community is essentially a public discussion forum where all of the community members get together, share their wins, share what's working for them. So for example, we had Sile the other day, or just a couple hours ago, basically share that he just tested a product with some of the methods that he learned in this course on day 1, 67 in ad spend and $553 in sales, which is absolutely crazy. We got guys like Enos who scaled to their first 10K a day and also explained exactly how he did it. So he's dropping, and a lot of our community members will tell you exactly what's working for them. And it's just the fastest way to learn new things and learn what's working. And I have learned so much myself from just the community that I now say that this is the most valuable aspect of joining God Tier Ecom, is getting access to a network of aspiring and successful entrepreneurs who have the exact same goals as you, which is to build an e-commerce brand that can completely change their lives. So you get access to the community. You'll also get access to the classroom, which contains our full masterclass that shows you step-by-step how to build and scale your first branded dropshipping business to $1,000 a day. Everything from doing product research, building the actual store. So if you enjoyed this video and you wanted to see me actually build the store, I literally do that in the course here as well. How to write the advertorials, how to build on Funnelish, how to make the creatives, and how to test and scale with Facebook ads. You'll also get access to over $6,000 a year in free bonuses. So access to all of the spy tools that you saw me use in this video, Shopify themes, Funnelish templates, everything that I use personally, my private supplier, all of that is in this free stuff folder. And you can also unlock live recordings of all of our Q&A calls, and you can even unlock one-on-one coaching calls with myself as well. And then lastly, on the calendar section, we have multiple Q&A calls every single week where I jump on for anywhere from 1 to 2 hours, and you can ask me questions about your store, get feedback on any creatives you're testing, on any products you're thinking about running. And it is literally like having me in your corner, coach you along the way, and give you real-time feedback and advice on your store. So guys, if you want access to the community, if you want access to the classroom and the full masterclass, all the bonuses, the live calls, the coaching calls, the one-on-one calls, then make sure you click the first link in the description to join God Tier Ecom. I do want to say, as you guys know, we have made a special extension on our one-time offer, which is we are now giving 60% off an annual subscription, and it is backed by popular demand, extended out until the end of this week. So right now, until the end of the week, you can join God Tier Ecom at a 60% off annual subscription, which we will never do again because a lot of people unexpectedly ended up taking it, and obviously 60% off is a massive discount. So on top of that, there is a 7-day money back guarantee. So if you try the community out, if you join, you watch the course, you try the community, you join the calls, you join the one-on-one coaching calls, and you don't get any value, or for whatever reason you don't like it, you can get your money back within 7 days. So guys, if you want access to God Tier Ecom, it's going to be the first link in the description. Really look forward to seeing some of you guys inside. And if you're serious about starting and scaling a branded dropshipping business to $1,000 a day, then I would highly encourage you to check out our community. Otherwise, hope you got a ton of value out of this. As always, I'm going to shut up now because my voice is absolutely gone after recording this video, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.